Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session of Free Bell with William O'Neill India, dated November 16, 2022. So, before we go ahead, I would like to give a small disclaimer that any security, any stock we might discuss in today's session should not be considered as a buy or sell recommendation, and we're just doing it for education purpose. So, without taking your much time, I'll start with Nifty 50's chart analysis for the day. We talk about yesterday's movement. Nifty had a positive opening. Then it went on to make lows and then gone into a negative territory. But it had some wild swing in the last 1 hour of the trading session and managed to close near the day's highs and also above the 52-week high as well. So that was one of the positive trades of yesterday's session if we talk about it. The other thing is that Nifty is trading well above its 21 DMA, 50 DMA, and currently the market is in confirmed uptrend, and it's a good time to add good breakout stocks to your portfolio, and similarly we've been doing it with the model portfolio as well. The distribution day count at the moment remains zero. I mean, we haven't seen any distribution up till now, and that's why the strength in the market is still there. Talking about the key news, BEL signed an MOU with Defense PSU Hindustan Shipyard Limited. The company will jointly develop and upgrade products slash systems for domestic and export markets. Indigo commenced operation of the first cargo flight between Delhi and Mumbai. According to the Ministry of Mines, mine production increased 4.6% YOY in September. US PPI came in at 0.2% month on month against consensus of 0.4%. That's what you could see some volatility in US markets last night. Core PPI came in at 0% against estimates of 0.3%. Yesterday, both DI and FI remained net sellers on the Indian equities. US FI sold Indian equities worth 221 crores. DI sold Indian equities worth 549 crores. Talking about the global market update, US markets remained highly volatile, but at the end managed to close in the positive territory. Dow Jones went higher by 0.2%, S&P 500 by 0.9%, Nasdaq by 1.5%. However, talking about the Asian markets are trading on kind of a negative bias, and flattish with a negative bias. Shanghai was flat at 0% and like going negative territory at -0.1. Similarly with Nikkei at -0.1 and Kospi at -0.3. Talking about your commodities and currencies, USD INR had depreciated a little bit to 81.24. Brent crude oil is trading around flattish at 93.6. Talking about your SGX Nifty is indicating a very minute positive opening. If we talk about it, it's a flattish to positive opening. Yesterday's close was around 18,403, and your SGX Nifty is indicating around 18,460 kind of levels. Talking about which sectors are in momentum, and as you can see that most sectors have probably reclaimed their 50 DMA. If you look at it apart from Nifty FMCG, Nifty FMCG was trading well above the 50 DMA, but in the last 1 week or so, there has been some kind of profit booking, and you can see it coming down, it's trading marginally below the 50 DMA, which is not that bad a sign. And even if you look at it, the status for the sector is still in rally, and distribution day count is low at 3, so that's not a problem. The only sector that is trading well below the 200 DMA is the IT, where some pressure is still there, and as you can see, it is still trading 6.5% below the 200 DMA, which is not a good sign. Overall, if you look at all the other sectors, they have reclaimed their 200 DMA and the 50 DMA as well. Talking about the chart of the day for us is Finolex Cables. And before we go ahead with the stock, I would like to give a small disclaimer that currently it's not a buy or sell recommendation, and we are just doing it for educational purpose. So if we talk on the fundamental and the company front, it's one of the leading manufacturers of electrical and telecommunication cables in India, and it's been operating for more than 50 years. And besides in wires and cables, as other companies such as its competitors, it has forayed into FMEG products as well, that is fast moving electrical goods and home appliances. And similarly, if we talk about the revenue breakup for the company, the electrical wires and cables account for more than 82% of the revenue, followed by communication cables at 4%, and that is the FMEG product is very small at 4%. And it's one of the leading organized wires and cables player with a market share of around 22% in the organized segment. And if we talk about the product portfolio is very diverse in terms of flexible cables, solar cables, elevator cables, auto battery cables, LTHT power cables, coaxial cables, speaker cables. In terms of FMEG products, lighting, electrical switches, switch gears, water heaters, fans, etc. And if talking about the recent result, there was some minor blip in terms of the recent result. But if we talk about the uh, overall 4 to 5, 6 quarters for the results, it's been really good. And even with a little miss on the EPS front, the stock is still trading around just 2% below the uh, your pivot levels. Initially, it did try to break out, but the breakout was kind of unsuccessful if one look at it in that way. But if it probably re-breaks out on an above average volume, it can be a good sign. And if you look at the other thing, the RS line is trending higher, and that is also a good sign. The overall ratings is really good. The stock is in interest with the institutional investors as well. That is, if you look at the number of funds 4 quarters back, the number of funds was around 445. Now it's around 175. So that is like one of the really good signs. And overall, the stock has been fundamentally good. And in terms of in the right hand side of the base, you could see a good accumulation happening on the right hand side of the base, which is a really good sign. The only thing at the moment left for the stock is to probably re-break out and re-break out on above average volumes, and that is what is desired from the stock at the moment. And so that's it, and thank you from my side, and stay tuned to the space of Pre-Bell with William O'Neill India at 8:45 am sharp, and after us at 4:30 p.m. sharp from Monday to Friday.